Hey, how's it going, IO? I'm your host, Bridget Shields, and today we're going to talk about Alec Baldwin breaking his silence, the fact that Carole Baskin's husband was found, and Shakira's insane jam cheating theory. So first off, how do you feel about the fact that Alec Baldwin was charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter? Was justice really served? Because Alec doesn't think so. His attorney, Luke Nykus, responded to the news in a statement to The Independent, saying, "This decision distorts Helena Hutchins' tragic death and represents a terrible miscarriage of justice. Mr. Baldwin has no reason to believe there was a live bullet in the firearm or anywhere on the movie set. He relied on the professionals with whom he worked, who assured him that it did not have live rounds. We will fight these charges and we will win." Now it seems Hollywood is divided over whether or not Alec deserves the charges. Piers Morgan was one of the first public figures to respond to the news, and he appeared to agree with the ruling. He brought up the verdict on Piers Morgan Uncensored and said, "There was no doubt that it was an accident, but Helena Hutchins died, leaving behind a grief-stricken husband and a young child, and the person holding the firearm that fired a bullet and killed her was Alec Baldwin." He went on to say it was him who did that, who fired a bullet into his co-worker's body and snuffed out her life. Nobody else's hands were anywhere near the weapon. The 57-year-old described Alec as the epitome of Hollywood arrogance and accused him of embarking on a woeful, self-pitying PR tour that felt cynically designed to make people feel that he was just as much of a victim as the woman he killed. Piers then brought up Alec's 2021 interview with ABC News, where he said, "I feel that someone is responsible for what happened, and I can't say who that is, but I know that it's not me." He pointed to this as evidence that the actor does not feel guilt at all over the incident. Quote, "He's repeatedly spewed indignant denial of responsibility to his millions of followers on social media and in a succession of television interviews. But not everyone feels that Alec was deserving of the charges. In fact, Mickey Rourke has already spoken out in defense of the actor and said that there is no way in hell he should face charges over the death of Helena Hutchins." He wrote a statement saying, "I usually never put my 2 cents in about what happens on someone's movie set. It's a terrible tragedy what happened to cinematographer Helena Hutchins, but no way in hell actor Alec Baldwin should be charged with any negligence whatsoever." Not only that, but the Screen Actors Guild also came out in defense of Alec Baldwin. They released a statement saying, "The prosecutor's contention that an actor has a duty to ensure the functional and mechanical operation of a firearm on a production set is wrong and uninformed. An actor's job is not to be a firearms or weapons expert." They basically said that the performers are trained to perform and that's where their responsibility ends. Which is true, considering the fact that sets are supposed to have actual weapons experts and people who specifically oversee the safety of the cast and crew. New Mexico's first judicial district attorney, Mary Carmack Outwey, did an interview with CNN, and she explained her reasoning for charging Alec with involuntary manslaughter. She said, "There were live rounds on set. Nobody was checking those, or at least they weren't checking them consistently. And then they somehow got loaded into a firearm and handed off to Alec Baldwin. He didn't check it. He didn't do any of the things that he was supposed to do to make sure he was safe or that anyone around him was safe. And then he pointed the weapon at Helena Hutchins and pulled the trigger." She explained that just because the incident was accidental doesn't mean that nobody could be held criminally liable. Along with Alec Baldwin, prop armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed will also be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Both of them face a maximum of 18 months in prison if they are convicted. This is the result of a year-long investigation into the October 21st incident. The movie's assistant director Dave Halls signed a plea bargain with the DA for the charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon, and he accepted a suspended sentence and 6 months of probation. So it looks like Alec intends to fight the charges and believes that the verdict was a complete miscarriage of justice. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out in the coming months. Next up, here is a crazy bit of news that no one saw coming. Carole Baskin's husband has been found, and apparently he is alive and well. So obviously he was not fed to the tigers as many people have previously thought. It turns out that Carole Baskin's missing ex-husband, Don Lewis, has been living his best life in Costa Rica. This is obviously a huge deal because he completely vanished in 1997, which is something that we learned about in the infamous Netflix series Tiger King. After the series debuted, there was rampant speculation that Carole had been involved with Don's presumed death when he disappeared 6 years after their wedding. In fact, he was actually declared dead in 2002, but Carole was never charged with anything related to his passing. In fact, she always maintained her innocence. Last year, she went on to ITV's This Morning, where she revealed that she'd been contacted by Homeland Security to give an update on his whereabouts. She told the daytime TV hosts, "They said my husband, Don Lewis, is alive and well in Costa Rica, and yet all of this drama has been made about me having something to do with his disappearance, when Homeland Security has known where he is. I didn't think he was capable of supporting himself himself. He took about $1 million down to Costa Rica. I had agreed to let him do that so he could prove to himself that he could make a living. The theory that Don was secretly alive first came up in the 2021 sequel Tiger King 2. In the series, producers showed documents that are said to be from the Department of Homeland Security. They claim to describe his whereabouts in Costa Rica, but it's unclear whether those documents are real or not. Despite what she's told everyone, her husband is reportedly still legally documented as dead and has yet to come out and make a statement himself. Now, Joe Exotic has responded to the news and made a statement from prison through his attorney John Phillips. It reads, "During the filming of Tiger King, detailed efforts were made to find Don Lewis. They all failed. He is not alive." The 2021 report by Carole Baskin was another unsupported allegation. It's been republished as if it has veracity. It doesn't. The story of the Tiger King is filled with lies, setup, and misdirection. We still await a hearing for Joe's freedom. The lies and the setup are spelled out in his motion for new trial. Read it, the work is done. The Cosmopolitan article based on the ITV report is false and designed to bring more attention to Carole Baskin. Joe also commented, "No, he is not," on a Facebook article titled "Carole Baskin's Dead Husband Found Alive." So clearly he still believes that his arch nemesis killed her husband and fed him to her tigers. If you didn't know, Joe Exotic is currently serving a 21-year prison sentence for hiring a hitman to take out his rival. The events leading up to his crime were covered in Tiger King, and at the time, prosecutors said that he tried to hire 2 people to kill Carole, but one of them happened to be an undercover FBI agent. In a surprising turn of events, Joe Exotic has now called on President Joe Biden to release him from prison after he heard about the prisoner swap between America and Russia. According to audio obtained by TMZ, Joe slammed the exchange that set WNBL player Brittany Griner free. He said, "The whole Brittany Griner and Trevor Reed prisoner swap is a slap in every American's face that is wrongfully detained in the American federal prison, including myself." He went on to say Carole Baskin got her Big Cat Safety Act passed, now called the Tiger King Bill. "Your tiger law has passed. I'm never owning animals again. This is what it was all about. The evidence that I'm innocent is there." Back in March of 2019, the disgraced zookeeper also petitioned to have Donald Trump grant him a pardon. He released a video proclaiming his innocence and had his legal team repaint a bust with the words, "President Trump, please pardon Joe Exotic." But when he failed to receive a pardon, he completely turned on Trump and started attacking him on Twitter. He wrote, "I was too innocent and too gay to deserve a pardon from Trump. I only mattered to Don Jr. when he needed to make a comment about me to boost his social media post." So obviously nothing has really changed because Joe Exotic is still professing his innocence and bashing Carole Baskin at the same time. And last but not least, just when you thought Shakira and Gerard Pique's breakup couldn't get any messier, rumor has it that she found out he was cheating on her thanks to a jar of jam. According to a new report from Page 6, Shakira came home from a trip one day and discovered that some of the jam in her fridge had been eaten. The reason this made her suspicious was because her husband at the time, Gerard Pique, doesn't actually like jam. Not only that, but apparently her kids hate it too, which of course means that there had to be one other person in the house who was dipping into the jam. And apparently she made a low-key reference to this incident in the music video for her song called Te Felicito, where she opens a fridge and finds Alejandro's head on a plate. When asked about the moment in an interview on This Morning, Shakira described it as, "To find out the truth, I go into the refrigerator," which is not exactly subtle. Now Twitter is reacting to the news in the only sensible way, making memes. Someone posted a video of the singer walking around in what looks like a giant red crystal cave, and they captioned it, "Shakira inside the jam jar investigating how much was missing." Even the official Duolingo Twitter account got in on the joke, and they posted a photo of a green jar of jam with the caption, "Pique's tears." But one user's tweet sums it up best. Risa Brown wrote, "I found my ex was cheating from a smoothie receipt in his jar. Shakira found out from a jar of jam. I don't care how crazy we look or sound, when something doesn't feel right, women will always find out." But that's not all. The internet has now found yet another reason to hate on Pique. A clip of the football star on a Zoom interview has recently resurfaced online, and a fan noticed that Clara Chia was featured in the background of his home. This is a huge deal because when the interview was done in 2021, he and Shakira were very much still together. At the time, she was away traveling with their children, 9-year-old Milan and 7-year-old Sasha. Following the revelation, Shakira was reportedly devastated to learn that this woman clearly felt at home in the house that they shared with their children. To make matters even worse, according to several sources, Pique's parents knew that their son was unfaithful to Shakira, and they never did anything to prevent it. Even her mother-in-law allegedly treated her badly at first and insisted that she was too old for her son. Now new photos have come out of Pique's parents walking arm in arm with Clara Chia, and they both seem very happy with their son's new partner. So of course these photos would be quite shocking, considering that Shakira's mother-in-law was the one who assured her of Pique's fidelity. Now it looks like she has fully welcomed his new girlfriend into the family. So now we're starting to see why she put a terrifying life-size witch mannequin on her balcony and positioned it so that it faces her ex-mother-in-law's house. Not only that, but residents in her neighborhood have reported hearing her new diss track blasting at full volume from her home, so it was probably loud enough to reach the entire street. When photos of the spooky witch mannequin went viral, fans were not exactly sure how to react. Some people thought it was hilarious and labeled Shakira as a petty queen. Others thought that she was taking it way too far. But as we learn more and more about this cheating scandal, we'll come to understand how everything went down and why Shakira deserves to be angry. Well, that's everything that we have for today. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.